Hey, what's happening everyone? Mark here. First video, pretty much. Just out here, a way to start some 2K reps. And the idea I've got today is I have got a lot of running trainers, right? A lot of different brands, a lot of different kind of prices, some secondhand, some I bought brand new. And I basically just wanted to work out which ones I kind of prefer, and then also at the same time see if there's a difference between, if I can feel a difference between your kind of carbon plated or carbon rodded shoes and then just your everyday kind of shoes. So the non-carbon plated shoes I've recently bought are the Adidas Evo SLs. Really good shoe. I really enjoy them. I've had a couple at the start. It was a bit iffy just because of Adidas' sizing. Historically, I've always had to go half a size up, but I haven't on these. So I think my big toe was a bit irritated towards the start. However, recently, kind of hit my stride with them, so I'm enjoying them a lot more. Really good feeling like underfoot. And for the price point as well, because they're only 130 quid, which is relatively cheap in today's market. So I'm gonna save my last rep today for them. I want to get at least 5 reps in, and I've got 5 different pairs I've actually got 6 pairs of trainers. So if I feel good and I feel like I can get that 6 rep in, then I will. I'm gonna get hopefully a 3K warm up in. Then I will get cracking with the session. I've not really got an order for the shoes. I'll just give you like a little cap of each shoe as I start the rep. And then at the end, I'll give you an overview of the session. I'm going to try and rate each 2K in the shoes out of 10. Kind of like going to be half like a how it felt underfoot and half like an RPE scale. And I'm going to try and stick to just 4-minute Ks throughout, just so then it's a bit more even. And I'm not going to listen to music, because sometimes when I listen to music I'll run a bit harder depending on the song, or a bit faster. So I'm going to try and keep it nice and kind of steady. It's by no means scientific, but it should give me a decent idea of what kind of trainers give me the best kind of overall experience. So yeah, that's it. First video, so please bear with me on the kind of camera front. I'm going to try and do a little bit of everything, try and mix it up. But yeah, hopefully as the videos go on, my kind of skills on the whole camera side of things will get better. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright everyone, so while I'm running, I'll just kind of talk you through a bit about me, a bit of an introduction. So, like 7 days mark, been running for over 10 years now. I really enjoy running, enjoy kind of the competitive side of it, enjoy trying to beat my old times, enjoy the social aspects as well. I'm starting to dabble in a bit of the coaching, which I really enjoy. I enjoy trying to get other people to improve, try to get them to enjoy sessions, and get them to buy into the whole kind of training. I'm a firm believer in kind of mixing up the training, so easy runs meet long runs meet interval sessions, which I've got today. And yeah, I'm by no means an elite kind of runner. I run because I enjoy it. It was actually kind of my job slash my mother and father-in-law that got me into it, so shout out to Kim and Rob. Yeah. Hey bud. Yeah, so my kind of times, my 5k PB is 18:22. My 10k PB is 39:08. Something like that. It's just over 39. My half marathon PB is 1:31, and then I wouldn't really class any of my marathon times as a PB, because truth be told, I just never got it right, whether it's the fueling or not putting in the miles in training. But yeah, every marathon I've done, I've kind of blown up
or it hasn't gone to plan, so that's something that's on my radar. Definitely something I'm wrong, I want to right someday, so yeah, definitely something I'll start to look at maybe next year. I'd love to take it off with like a big one, like a London, something like that, but I've entered the ballot the last 10 years with zero luck. So my father-in-law Rob, we're quite close, and he entered London. He got a place 2 years ago, trained really hard for it, even used the trainers that I gave him for it. And if you'll learn I'm all about the trainers. So yeah, that was quite a nice feeling when he kind of got a positive experience in trainers. And then he's got a video at the end as well, so he's just hit his goal time, just smashed one of the biggest marathons, and then he's in the line to get his medal at the finish line, and Kipchoge's handing the medals out. Nuts. Had to watch it on the telly, absolutely gutted, and I was hungover at the time, so need to get a grip. But stuff like that, I seen it in him when like chatting to him about that day, and he had like, I was sat there thinking, mate, if I was you, I'd feel like I'd completed this running thing. But he still runs to this day. I think you kind of learn with the running community, like you're always kind of hungry for that next step, that next goal, which I think's a healthy thing as long as you keep it sensible. But now what a story. I hope when I do finally nail a marathon, I'll be chuffed if it ends up something like that. So today, got like a high volume interval session. I'm not pushing too high on my effort level, just because of the volume, and because I'm more using this run A, to get extra mileage in, and B, to figure out what kind of pair of trainers I am happiest with. So we will see. But in terms of the trainer front, my car passed its MOT yesterday, so that was only 50 quid, where I was expecting a few hundred. So there might be some scope for a new pair just to celebrate, you know what I mean? Nicole's gonna be fuming, but I love it. I just love it. So yeah, back on the session. Gonna at least 5 reps, hopefully 6, and there'll be like I'll say probably a 3-minute interval in between each 2k, just because I've got my trainers back at the car, and that'll just give me time to get swapped over and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, just bear with the videography because I'm not up to much, alright? I do try. Alright, so warm up done. Yeah, 14 minutes, took 4:45 pace, half pace, 3k in. Alright, so now I'm gonna start with the Alpha Fly ones, I think. Gonna start with these. Bought these second hand, just because everyone told me they were a lot better than the 2s. 2s I found them a bit clumpy. However, I did feel some kind of benefit from them, so start the ones and see how it goes. saw that. That guy's just out here cruising. Hands in pockets, not ours. Unreal. Right, so that's rep number 1 done. And the Alpha ones felt alright, but didn't really get as much benefit from them as I kind of hoped I might have. I might just be a reflection of my training. I might not be as fit as I kind of hoped I was, but we'll see. Anyways, overall out of 10, I'd probably say like a solid 7. I definitely felt some benefit, but just not as kind of poppy as I was expecting it to be after running the warm-up in the Nova Blast. But I think next I'll jump onto the spot for choice here. We'll go for the Adios Pro Freeze. Give these a go, see how it goes. Alright, so that's lap number 2 done. Felt really good in the Adios Pro Freeze. To be honest, they're kind of like my kind of underrated pair that have always kind of just done the job, tick the box. I've always kind of got on with them ever since the word go. Like I said, the one thing with Adidas is I've got to go half a size up for some reason, but other than that, they're golden. So out of 10, I'll probably rank them probably a 9 out of 10 in terms of just comfort and also speed. I was just kind of cruising along then, so not as much effort as the Alpha ones, which is surprising, to be honest. I always kind of think of the Alpha ones, especially because people still like hold them in such high regard. I always think of them as like the GOAT, especially when I was like, when I first heard of them, and then you seen like these crazy trainers bubbling them, like Kipchoge wearing, putting in crazy times. You just think they're otherworldly, and they kind of set the benchmark. But yeah, they're definitely Adios Freeze felt better. Yeah, so I'm trying to stick to the 3 minutes in between intervals. So that's 2 minutes gone, got 1 minute to go. Gonna get some water on just to make sure I stay topped up so I don't die halfway through. But yeah, next up we've got the Vaporfly 2s. Got my half marathon PB and 5k PB in these, so I'm expecting these to be fast. So that's interval 3 done in the Vaporfly 2s. Yeah, felt good. Again, wasn't blown away. It just kind of felt solid. One thing I did notice is like, seemed to be less stack height at the back. I definitely noticed at the start I was kind of sinking into my heels a bit more. But it wasn't like an unpleasant feeling. I just noticed the difference from the Adios Pro Freeze. So next up we're gonna go for the On Cloudboom Epo Freeze. These shoes kind of got me a bit of a bargain off Vinted. They were 35 quid because one of the like rubber patches at the back was coming off. So I just glued that back and they've been pretty good ever since. So let's see how this goes. So that'll be interval number 4. So that's interval number 4. I realised I never rated the Vaporflies out of 10. Probably go 8. These definitely a 9. Felt snappy, felt nice and firm, which I like. Kind of pushed me on. I think I averaged kind of like sub 355 in them, and I didn't even feel like I was pushing that hard. Obviously I'm starting to fatigue because the session's a long one, but overall felt pretty kind of light on effort. I really like the look of these, like really nice. My favourite colour is orange, in case you didn't already know. So so next up, got 2 left. We've got the Alpha 2s and we've got the Evo SLs. Alright, so like I said, leave the Evo SLs till last. So so the Alpha 2s are going on. Yeah, I'm kind of like bit unsure about these, but we will see how we get on. Apologies for the traffic noise. The Psycho-Pass gleaming in terms of it's just a kind of car-free zone and a non-stop path for easy for 2K, but the only limiting thing is it's right next to a road, so if you hear any kind of noise in the background, apologies, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, so on to interval number 5, and then last but not least, Evo SLs. Alright team, that's interval number 5 done with the Alpha 2s. Felt really good, to be fair. Definitely felt like they were kind of helping me along even though I'm getting fatigued, so yeah, a bit surprised by that. I don't know why I've kind of fallen out with them a little bit, but definitely keeping hold of them for a while. So last but not least, rep number 6 in the Evo SL. No carbon, obviously. It's just got that kind of like plastic, I think they call it like a dog bone or something. I looked on the website, but yeah. Yeah, just really like the foam on these. Even though I've had a couple of dramas with the upper, maybe just being a bit too small or restrictive or whatever, the foam's something I've never really questioned. It's always been quite good. I've had these about a month or so, so yeah. Let's get into it. Last but not least, interval number 6. Alright everyone, that's the last rep done in the Evo SLs. Felt really good, honestly. Like, maybe even better than some of the carbons, so I'd say based on that last couple of reps, I'll probably give them 9.5. Yeah, just really good underfoot, really supportive even though the legs are fatigued. Yeah, a big favourite, I think. I was going to do a cool down, but I've got to get back to work. So I'll chat over results, yeah, once I get back home in a bit. Hey everyone, me again. So that's the session done. Managed to get my 6 reps in the end, which I'm happy about. And now I'm just going to talk through my kind of thoughts on the trainers. Obviously it was a bit kind of rushed just because I'd literally in the middle of the session. But the first rep was in the Alphafly 1s. Like I said, I bought these second hand, so it could be that this pair's just kind of like past it. However, the tread and everything still looks pretty good. A bit worn, but that's what you expect for a trainer that must be coming up on like 5 years old. But overall, yeah, it didn't feel bad. I think I just built it up to be kind of like really nice, really poppy, really responsive. I had a pair before this, and that's the experience I had from them. I used to love like long runs on them, but I'm pretty sure I gave these like a 7 out of 10 today. So yeah, not a bad option, but they won't be like my preferred one. I'll keep hold of them though, just in case. Next up, I hope I've got these in the right order. I might not have, but yeah, it'll be alright. We've got the Adios Pro 3s. The only thing I dislike about this trainer I always have is the colourway, just because it gets absolutely minging. But they've always just felt like really solid, really nice and firm, like underfoot, and yeah, I really kind of appreciate our trainer. I gave you the 9 just because they are good, and they just kind of give you that little bit of feedback that I like. Next up, I think it was the Vaporfly. It might have been the Ons, but we'll go for the Vaporfly. Again, yeah, really responsive, nice and snappy.
I got these second hands as well off Vinted for like 40 quid, which is crazy considering like there's still some pros out there now that would choose to wear this for the kind of like race day shoe. Yeah, light wear, really good trainer. Like I said, I've got my half and my 5k PB in these, and yeah, still really good. A totally different feel from like the Alphafly and from the Adios Freeze, but yeah, got the job done nonetheless. Yeah, splits were very similar across all the shoes until I got on to one pair in particular. Next pair then, got the Cloudboom Echo 3s. I really like this trainer. I'd never really had much heard much about On's kind of like carbon lineup. As far as I was aware, I'd only seen them have like the kind of like nylon speedboard and stuff like that. I might be miles off of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, these you can literally see like the carbon plate. It's kind of exposed inside, which is kind of cool. But these are just like pretty much everything I kind of look for in terms of that carbon feel. So like nice, snappy, and firm. So you've got that kind of support. Whereas I think with Alphaflys, because of their kind of like design, they're a bit more kind of like spongy, and you kind of got like spongy and springy going on at the same time. Whereas these, you're just kind of landing firm and snapping on that kind of recoil. Yeah, another Vinted bargain. Keeping all that. I'm pretty sure these are still retailing at like 230 quid, by the way, which is just mad. Like the stuff you can pick up on Vinted, as long as you're not like snooty and you don't mind second hand, which I never have. So these I paid full price for. Yeah, don't tell Nicole. Yeah, they are good though. Like that's one thing I can't forget how kind of good these are. They're still very much like in my mind for rotation wise, because they were just, even though I was getting fatigued, I did feel like they were kind of taking some of the load, which is always useful, especially for like the longer runs like marathons and stuff like that. You want a shoe that will kind of give you that energy kind of feedback. But in terms of the pricing, like, yeah, 200 quid for a trainer is a bit steep, but that just seems to be the way it's going now. But yeah, I can't deny, like, I do still really like them. And you, even as like an average kind of runner, you do still feel the benefit of them. So yeah, I'll keep holding them as well. So like I said, all the trainers were like steadily roundabout over the course of the 2K was roundabout the 355 average over the 2Ks, except these were quicker, which I'm amazed at really, because like I said, these are the only ones without a carbon rod. You've just got that. It is quite a similar kind of like layout to the Adios Pro. So you've got like the Continental, kind of like slick tire kind of like setup on the bottom. But that Light Strike Pro, I really do rate it for that kind of like feedback. Like you do feel like a nice kind of spring in your step, even though like I said these aren't carbon. You still feel that spring in your step, feedback when you're going along. And yeah, I've felt that over kind of like all the way from like 5 minute Ks down to like 3:30 Ks. You do still feel the benefit of this. So this is like, it took me a while to get along with the upper, like I said, but now, yeah, really good trainer. I've got a couple of races that I'm pacing coming up. So I've got Eastleigh at the weekend, which is a 10k. And I'm pacing 45 minutes there, so 4.5 minute K. So this will be the go-to. And then in a couple of weeks I've got Southampton half, and I'm pacing 1:35, which is again 4.5 minute Ks. So yeah, this will be ideal, be locked in. But yeah, so my choice for the day, carbon or non-carbon, overall it's going to be non-carbon with the Adizero Evo SLs. And like I said, by far and away, especially if you're taking like new price into consideration, by far and away the cheapest shoe, brand new. So yeah, really good. I heard really good things about these, and I was a bit gutted that I didn't get on with them as well as everyone else seemed to right at the start. But now I've had them for like coming up on a month, 2 months. yeah, now I see what the hype's about. They're really good. But yeah, that's it. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Like I said, I've watched the earlier clips back, and I apologise for some of the camera work. But no, I hope you do enjoy the video. I get like quite a lot of questions from like people at work and stuff, with regards to just kind of like my thoughts on running stuff, and that's kind of like the inspiration behind the channel. And I've been enjoying it really. Like today would have been quite like a long dreary session, but just because I had like that kind of like, oh, I need to try and get some like decent content when I can, and like tell you what I'm feeling on the actual session from all the different shoes and stuff. It gives like sessions a different dynamic, which I quite enjoyed. So, um, yeah, hopefully someone will see this video, because just now I've got 0 subscribers, zero likes, 0 videos. But this is video number 1. If you do watch it, let me know what you think. And if I've got a couple ideas for some other videos. Like I said, I'm pacing Eastleigh on Sunday, so I'm gonna video that and do like a little vlog. Just show you like the kind of behind the scenes of pacing and the setup on the day. It's a really good event, really good for PBs, because it's quite a flat, fast course. So hopefully help some people get their PBs. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.